Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. We have a presentation for you all to start off the meeting. Active People, Healthy Wayne.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Kirsten. I am the program coordinator for Active People Healthy Lane. We are running out of a Creating Healthy Schools and Community grant. There's several grantees all across New York State that received this grant, and we were lucky enough to get it in this area as well. So it's a newer program. We only really got started last year, so a lot of people haven't heard of us yet. But we're actually run through Finger Lakes Community Action Program. So we're just kind of under their umbrella, operating with this grant with them. One of our goals is for Creating Healthy Schools and Communities is to establish and support sustainable, healthy communities. So we're looking at the long-term visions of your communities and how we can make them healthier, more accessible to people to be able to bike and walk through the communities, because that helps the longevity of your towns to continue on through the generation. We work with policy, systems, and environment. So we work with policies, and then once you guys, what it is, so they have things called complete streets or safe routes policies that some other townships like Palmyra, Lyons, and some other ones around here have. Those policies are in effect, and it just means that your township has a vision as far as where you guys want to head down the road, your longevity, what are your goals for your township, and so that's kind of what we're doing. I am not the most experienced at this presentation stuff, guys, so please be forgiven me. So being physically active is one of the most important ways people can improve their health. And Wayne County has one of the highest obesity rates in the entire state of New York. So we were chosen based off of our, the health disparities that we have, the lack of resources that we have, just some of those kind of struggles. So that's why certain parts of Wayne County were decided to be approved for this grant. So having access, no matter how you get around the township, everybody has the right to access public sidewalks. If they're not safe for people in a wheelchair, they may not utilize that sidewalk, or they're hard for you to push your child down in a stroller, which that might be a barrier that makes it hard for you to get around using what they call active transportation, which is any mode of actively transporting around a community. So our goal is to show an equal importance to pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorists. It's not about favoring one over another. It's just about showing consideration for everybody. So if you think about the way townships have been designed, which many of these towns are hundreds of years old, they were really designed around, first it was horse and buggies, and then they were designed around getting roads or getting vehicles around these roads as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But they haven't really put a lot of thought until more recently into pedestrians on foot and bike. So we're just trying to make a change within the community. This is a huge movement that's sweeping across the country. We have a pretty decent amount of bike-friendly places in New York State, but there's still some room for some more further improvements here. But we're getting there, guys, just so you know. So how can we help? So we partner with the community, the representatives, everybody, really. We want everybody's opinions, but we will try to assess current and proposed policies, which I don't believe Wilkett has one that I'm aware of. When I looked, I didn't see a complete streets or safe routes policy in place. I might be wrong on that. So you might be wondering, so what are complete streets? And this is a little video. It's just a 2-minute video. It's going to give you an idea.
What are complete streets? This is Community Planning 101.
Sorry.
Complete streets are streets designed to be safe, comfortable, and efficient for pedestrians, cyclists, transit riders, and motorists. And they're designed to be connected to the places people live, work, learn, and play.
Design features of complete streets may include sidewalks, multi-use trails, bike or bus lanes, accessible transit stops, median islands, and many others. And each of these helps one or more transportation method function better without making the others less efficient or uncomfortable. It's not about balancing the use of cars against all other transportation, or just adding lanes for bikes, buses, and pedestrians. It's about travel being more accessible and providing travel options for communities, making them better and healthier places to live. Also, the improved social interaction of complete streets is good for businesses and property values. Even where destinations are close to home, incomplete streets often make them inaccessible by foot, bike, or transit. For example, schools without sidewalks to residential areas make walking less safe for students, and cul-de-sacs create dead ends, cutting places off from people's homes. Routes along high-speed roads without bike lanes, sidewalks, or comfortable transit stops feel unsafe and are used less. Multi-lane roads without adequate crossings act as barriers, limiting access to retail areas and services. By designing complete streets, these negative impacts can be avoided or reversed. Complete streets are also not just city or suburban approaches. They can work in rural areas too, but the design solutions will look different. For example, roads in rural areas may be made complete by providing wide shoulders for cycling and walking, with connections to trails and transit stops. In a village center, a complete street strategy could include marked crossings, sidewalks, curb extensions, and street trees, all designed specifically to fit the character of the small town. So now you know the basics of what complete streets are, their benefits, and the kinds of ways they can be designed. I'm Robert Voigt, and this has been Community Planning 101, brought to you by the Ontario Professional Planners Institute.
Okay. So that's a little video about it. So some of you might be thinking, why would we want to make a policy? That just sounds like a lot more work, right? It's all about thinking about the future of your township. Where are you going? What's your vision for your town? And how are you going to keep people living here and wanting to grow their families here? And as well as making it comfortable for people who are aging here, it's safe for them as well. So all a lot of things to think about. And what we're seeing is a lot of the small towns are just having lower and lower populations, but people are leaving the small towns and going to more convenient places to live. So we're trying to stop that. We want the townships to thrive and grow and be healthy communities for everybody. Because every community matters, no matter how small they are. And these are the only townships we can work in. So it's Palmyra, Stillers, Arcadia North, Lyons, Rose, Galen, Clyde, Savannah, Butler, and Worcester. So this is a pretty small area for us, but that's what makes it even better because we get to focus more on the townships when it's only so many. So, so the communities who look at adopting complete streets and safe route policies have more success with getting other grants from other kinds of sources. So if they see that your township is making is thriving to go in the right direction, where we're trying to get communities to stay sustainable for a long period of time, they look at that when you're filling out for grants for other things. And it really tends to say, oh, wow, this town is they're heading down the right road, they're looking at the long-term vision, they're trying to make their community healthier, and it just tends to make your community look better when you're applying for other grants. And having more visitors stop in your town, it increases the local prosperity for the businesses. So what I want you to think about is if you weren't from this town and you came through this township, would there be enough things to get you to want to stop and get out of your vehicle and spend some time in this community? And those are like, drawing a tourist away to get some extra funds in your community and help everything thrive better. So with improved policies and practices, the values of your homes go up. When you're working on fixing your sidewalks and you're making everything safer, the property values go up, and things just kind of thrive a little bit better that way. So what we do, if you guys choose to work with us, we will do walking audits. We use AARP walking audits, and we just look at some of the things that we could possibly do that could just make the township what we can do to improve it together. So another aspect of trying to keep your long-term goals is to create a vision or steering committee. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but this is pretty much something that we try to put in place before our relationship ends, when we're all done working together, so that you guys have a long-term focus as to, you want to keep going on the goals that you already put work and effort into. So that's why we'll help you set one of those up. So this is an example of a before and after picture for complete streets in the township. So you guys identify your goals after we do an audit. We do a walking audit for each community, and we'll identify goals together. I'm not here to boss you around. We're here to work together as a partner, and we will help you guys we have a reimbursement grant. So when we find things that we can do together, we'll create an MOU with each other, which is a memorandum of understanding, and then we will assist with helping you guys with the changes that you guys are wanting to implement. So these are some examples of what, this is a little bit of a closer picture as to what completions could look like in your community. Yeah, so all these things here, which I've seen on your main street, you already have flower pots and benches and stuff. That's all called visual friction, and it tends to help people subconsciously slow down as they're driving through your town. You may not realize it, but it does. It helps. It's just called visual friction. That's just the term they call it. So these are some of the implementation items that our grant can reimburse. So multi-down bus shelters. We can do sidewalk replacements in smaller amounts, nothing like humongous, but we can do small amounts of sidewalk replacements, bike fix-it stations and racks throughout your community in places where it would make sense. Crosswalk paint, if you do something like that. Crosswalk signs, speed limit signs. We also can help with pet waste stations, which if if I see you guys do have some trash cans in your parks, but if somebody's with their dog and they don't happen to have a bag, they may not.
They have no problem putting them in regular trash cans.
I'm just saying, but those are things that our grant can reimburse for, because it is encouraging for other people to want to walk their pets around when it's more convenient. So these are things that increase the walkability and the bikeability of communities. So even trail markers and stuff like that help people be aware of what your town has in it to stop by. So everyone deserves to live in a neighborhood that's safe and comfortable. No matter if you're young or old, everybody deserves that. And I just want to know if you guys have a plan for the future of your community in a long term. So this is the last slide I have. This is actually what they call a traffic garden, and a lot of communities and schools have combined, other CHIS grantees have combined their resources with us to create these bicycle gardens. So they take like old tennis courts or old parking lots, and they can repurpose them as a bike garden to teach children road safety skills and bike riding skills to get them prepared for the everyday real world out there. So this is just something that some of the CHIS grantees have done. And that's the end of my slide. Anybody want to talk? Anybody got questions for me?
Oh, come on, Pete. I don't know how you can take yourself for so long.
I like the sidewalks fixed. And how would you, so I don't know where the money comes from and if we have to repay it back, and actually what you would actually do for us. Because I moved here recently.
It's a big section.
It's a big,
We
it's a big
can't
ordeal.
do all of it.
But what does that mean when you say all of it? Like
So-
99% of it?
So we have a certain budget, and we have actually we work with 5 different strategies, and the municipalities is one of them. We also work in schools, we work in early childhood care education settings, and we also work with food service guidelines in the community and in work sites. So we have to take this money and we split it up between different things. And when we start partnering with the township, it really is based upon the budget, which we did just do an amazing project with Lions. We redid sidewalks on William Street on both sides of the road because it was near the school. So it was considered safe routes to school because it improved the route that was for the children to get to school on. It was very dangerous for them to go down the sidewalk. So this is something we just got done doing last month. But yeah, so there'd be a certain budget. So you get an estimate as to what it would be, and then we could say, okay, well, this is how much we could assist with as a refund, because we are a refundable grant program and have to be paid for first, and we cannot pay for labor at all in our grant. So no labor expenses will not be included in that. But like as far as materials go, we would work a partnership, or we would work an agreement.
I think our village has a plan already,
Yeah.
but so how would yours help ours? I mean, you know,
Well,
I mean,
are you willing to do a complete streets policy? Because that's part of it.
Depends on how much money we're talking.
Well, hey, this is a 5-year grant program, and every year we get a new allotment of money. Starting June 1st of every year, we get a new allotment of money. And sometimes, so we try to continue on our partnerships. Like, we'll keep working with you guys. So if we write an MOU up and we're partnering with you, we'll continue to work with you. But even after we have funds for 1 year, doesn't necessarily mean there won't be funds for another year. If you guys are really willing to put effort into making the good changes in your community, this is stuff that like me and my boss, we figure all this stuff out. But I'm not allowed to throw out numbers, so I'm just letting you know right now. I
Yeah,
can't
it's just kind of hard to agree to something that we have no. I mean, you could just say, we could say, we got a $10,000 thing here, and you guys will say, well, we'll give you $40 for it.
No.
And, but it'd be nice to know at least some kind of a percentage or how that
I
would
can't
work.
give out numbers, but it's not like that.
So the first thing we would have to do is come up with the street.
We can look at some other policies like that Lions and Palmyra have in place. We can sit down, review so they're really. I was surprised. I expected this policy to be like a full stack of books. It was only like 3 or 4 pages long, and it's just about any future builds, like making sure that sidewalks all have ADA compliance when you build a new build, right? Or that they're a certain width, for safety and whatnot. And that I wish I knew a little bit more of what other things are in there. I guess I just can't think right now. Maybe I'm a little nervous. But,
So if the village was to, say, put in a new playground or something at the park for the kids, could you help get some safety flooring or something to go underneath that playground?
no. Playgrounds we can work with schools, but not with municipalities.
How about the bikes and the pet things and the fences?
So, I was thinking about this too. My boss told me not to say this.
She's not here.
She's not here. So, no, I did some walking around your community, and here's what I found. Your public library doesn't have a bike rack. Your Central Park didn't have a bike rack. The Waterfall Park over there had a small bike rack that held 2 bikes. As far as I know, I didn't see any bike fixing stations, and I didn't see any pet waste disposal stations. Those are all things that are reimbursed. They're all reimbursable, but we have to agree on amounts up front. We wouldn't throw you guys on the bus like that. But there's an agreement that gets put in place before you guys spend anything.
Are you in the first year of the 5 years?
No, we actually got a late start. Another township was granted this first, and then they were not doing things right, and they lost it. So then our Green Lake Community Action Program took over it last year, and we just really got rolling along with it towards the middle of last year. So it's been roughly about a year at this point. We've worked with a couple schools already. We've done some really fantastic, amazing things with 2 schools. We've worked with Red Creek and Lions. We've worked with municipalities that would be Lions so far. We're trying to get 1 a year, so we don't have to spread our money too thin. So if you guys want to be my 1 for this year, you guys can be my 1 for this year. It just started on June 1st, and I'm still looking for a partner.
Would you guys do a street audit and then make suggestions, or how would that work?
We would do a walking audit, yes. And it would be welcome to be open to, we can help facilitate pop-up events. So if you wanted to get your community involved, we can just put on a thing and have everybody come and talk about what their concerns are, or however you want to do it. Because it's really you're taking control of the ship here. I'm just helping in the background. So you look so nervous. Yeah, he looks scared of me, like, oh no, she's full of baloney.
I think
So
I think the best thing is that if you can get us the information that we need,
for the partnership side of it and what you request.
Okay.
And then the board can absorb that from there.
Okay.
And see if, if they are and they want to, they can make a motion to partner with you
Okay.
and go from there.
That's fair. I do have a list of approvable and non-approvable expenses. If anybody would like to take a quick review at it, they're welcome to look at this real quick. If anybody wants to look at it. Everybody? Okay, so this is our approved, and this side here is our not approved. Or right here, I'm sorry, just this little section. So if you guys ever look up creating healthy schools and community, it's actually public on it's a New York State Department of Health grant. You guys can look it up and research this. It's available right online. It's not like some hidden thing that nobody knows about. So does anybody else have any questions or like about how the process works or anything for me?
How come Huron was excluded?
Huron was excluded because they didn't reach the certain criteria as far as health disparities. The volumes in the community. I'm not exactly sure, but they were excluded. It broke our heart because I'm like it really makes our map uneven. So when we try to tell people where we are, it's hard for some people to understand because it just cuts it out right in the middle. It's like doesn't make a lot of sense. But.
So basically, we put the concrete down and you pay for the concrete, not the putting of the part of it. You only pay for the concrete.
Yeah, we
do the labor.
The labor, yes, but we did assist with paying for the rocks that go under the concrete. You know that, and then stuff like that.
Do you pay for the demo?
Actually, when we partnered with our other township, they actually covered the demo because they had their own equipment, which helped keep the cost down. So anywhere we can save is a good thing. That makes more money for other things. So.
What was the name of the policy again?
Complete Streets.
Complete Streets.
Or
I was trying to look up lines.
It's called Complete Streets or Safe Routes.
I'm sorry.
Lions has a Complete Streets policy.
You get your money from the county?
No, New York State Department of Health.
Oh, sure.
For a New York State grant. So, I do have a couple of brochures if anybody would like one, and I also got my business card. Is there anybody interested in this? You can keep them. I don't need them back. Let me throw one. Okay, got it. Thank you. I'll take one of your brochures. You guys want a couple? Yeah, I'll take one.
Can I just make a copy of this for everybody who wants to read this problem?
Thanks.
Somebody want one?
Right. I know in some people's minds it sounds too good to be true, but it really isn't. Because when I first walked into this grant last year, I was like, they really do all these amazing things. They really do. But that's what we're here for. We're here to make these townships better. Even these little small communities like Wolcott and Clyde. I mean, we're here for them. That's what we are working for you guys. I mean, that's why we're here. So. Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned there are other grants available once we open
No,
this door.
I mean when you apply for other grants.
Would you help with that? Do you have any grant writers?
No.
that can assist?
No. No, but I do know that a lot of townships continuously look for new grants, and they do get grant writers to write grants for their townships to try to continuously improve them and improve them. And that's what I'm saying is if you have something like this to highlight that you're working towards a goal, you're really working towards trying to make positive changes in your community, it really like puts a big highlight on your paper, and you look so much better to the state. Like, hey, they're trying to change, and they're trying to follow the, So bicycle riding has turned into like just biking alone has turned into like a $93 billion a year budget just in the United States alone. And it's taken off. A lot of people are just relying more on their own transportation instead of vehicles, and it's just. And with the health disparities that we're dealing with the obesity and everything, it's just we're trying to just encourage communities. We want to make them a healthier place for people to live, and a healthier place for people to thrive, and an easier place for people to practice healthy behaviors. So that's what we're doing. Anybody else?
Thank you very much.
You are so welcome, guys. We'll get all my stuff out. I can go out and continue on. Thanks so much.
fault.
There's some
They
streets
didn't
that,
improve it a couple of years ago, but. It's look better.
Thank you, ma'am. You did a fine job.
yeah, you did a good job.
Did I?
You're
Yes, you're awesome.
I think anybody.
This is
that
only
stopped
my
in wants
second
to give us money,
presentation,
good.
so.
I would be.
Yeah, I just have a lot of passion for what I do. 'Cause I honestly love what I'm doing. This is the most rewarding job I've ever had. And I'm just truly happy to be here. So good. That's why I walk around with a smile all day.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for
I
coming
left
in.
my old job after 17 years. But I've never looked back. Thank you.
Speed bumps.
Well, there's of course,
Are they on the list?
I'll claim the first one.
speed bumps. I don't know about speed
We're,
bumps.
well, we're
We
already
do
going
help
that,
with-
we're already going in that
Fall guy's
direction.
gonna rip it out
That's one of the
first time
things
out.
Yeah, I heard you guys were looking at a dog park somewhere. Where were you guys looking at the dog?
Oh, portable speed bumps.
Up here at school.
Near the school?
Here's extra back there if anybody wants a copy, guys. Okay.
Let's get a fertilizer.
Just moving that some.
It'll grow. Think we could use a couple more radar signs?
We can. We cannot do what they call capital improvement, minus the little bits of sidewalk here and there. So like if you want like solar power light, or if you want lights like to light up a walkway, it has to be solar. Or like if you want a bus shelter, it has to be a bolted down bus one that's removable if needed. Things like that. So.
Okay, moving on. We have Donna Graham and Eva Banis on the dog park.
I'm changing the bike. All right.
You're changing the subject?
No.
Oh.
Donna's going first. Like,
Are you part of the dog park? Just part of the dog park?
I just here for moral support, and I had to
Oh.
talk about.
Well, that was my question, because you're listed under the dog park, not what you had mentioned.
Yeah, can I change my subject?
We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
The recreation. Or,
Which includes,
Oh, okay.
which includes that.
yeah, I think that's so. They want to do two. Sorry.
I have mine as well.
Oh, yeah. Was it in the file?
Okay, so Donna is here to talk about the dog park. Many of you know that, what's that?
A little bit.
That we had proposed a dog park up by the water tower. Been talked about multiple times. I'll give you a little history of what's going on. So, everybody is always entitled to their opinion or their concerns down along the line. And I had a phone call come in about the piece of equipment that I had been working on to get here to clear that for the dog park. So I ran up there with one of my pieces of equipment to point it out because they were going to be here the following week. I was up there, and then I had received a phone call and talked to Donna of additional concerns post our previous conversation. And now what we have here is we have the proposed dog park being built. Dr. Vanguard, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opposing it. So, floor is yours, Don.
And there were some that did not answer the door when I went, and those are the ones that are closest to it. I am about 260 feet, I would be from it. But Mike on the corner is about 212 feet from it, who signed that. And so there's just a lot of concerns from people, a lot of concerns, including myself. And so back during the whole dissolution thing, and because some of the opponents kept talking about lack of transparency, and I kind of feel as though this was lack of transparency, because the people that I talked to, one of them that signed it had heard about a possibility of it, and the other ones were basically clueless. They had no idea whatsoever that something like that would be built, that close. And
Even though we had talked about it for over a year, I can't help it. They don't come out of their closets and participate.
I understand that, but still, it's a fact that you have to look at. And so I was a little, there was, and I went back through minutes, what I could find, like online, and it only goes back, well, for 23, it starts in September of 23 and forward, and there was nothing in it, in the minutes about it. There was one mention, I think, about a month ago or something. I remember when I was here. But prior to that, now I don't know in the other 23 minutes, if there was anything stated, was anything ever voted on, in regard to it, was anything ever discussed in like having a public hearing, because it is so close to residential houses. And another thing, we all want property values to go up. We do not want them to go down, because, you lose taxable revenue for the village. So, and I feel as though that our property values would decrease, if it was built that close to residential property. And so there's, what's my other notes? But there was no discussion with any of the people that would be impacted the most. And I think that's one of my big concerns. And plus there are millions of mosquitoes up there, millions. And now with her just having done her presentation, and in the deed from Dr. Chan to the village, that's what he wanted it to be, was green space. And what an opportunity to even just take and maybe build some trails, have some benches. And I did think of another place today where you could do a dog park, possibly. Would be up on the west side of the old Florentine Hendrick School, in that field, in the village portion. And that would be far away from any residences. The only resident that would be there would be Hutch Bauer's wife on the south side of Langton Road. And that property, maybe you could lease it from Mike. I'm assuming Mike owns it. I don't know. Anybody knows. So, but I overall, I just don't think it would be a good idea.
Okay, so just let's clarify the one thing we talked about. You were the very first person I called originally and asked.
Yes, I was the very first person that Chris called and asked me about it.
Because I'm just saying, because when you were just talking,
Right.
you said nobody was contacted.
Right, well, I was,
I
right,
did contact
yes.
because it was right in your backyard.
Right, because it was right in my backyard. And I don't know if I said I'll think about it, or maybe it would be okay. I don't know. I don't remember what my exact words were. But the more I thought about it, and then I didn't even think that it was coming like this fast. And like, here it is. It's like, wait a minute, do I know? I don't. In all sincerity. But like I also said to Chris, I'm not the only person that lives up there. There's a whole lot of other people. And to me, it would be only fair to be transparent and include them too.
So can I mention on that being in the minutes, I know that between September and December they were because we had to assign ARPA funds before the end of December to be used before the end of 2027.
I went through them and I
Yeah, I'll find it for you. I'll send it to you. I know it's just a discussion. It's just, okay, we're gonna talk about this and this is what we're talking about putting it towards.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll give you a copy.
And, because like I said, I couldn't go back and find anything prior
No, it
to.
was before that. We talked
prior
about
to
before that, but then
September
we had to assign the ARPA funds before the end of December.
of this year,
2023.
2023.
Yeah, so I'll find it. I'll give it to you.
So. All right. There's Dan.
The signature you have here, Don,
Yes.
are you speaking on their behalf? Just curious, because I don't see them here.
What do you mean, am I speaking?
I've got all the signatures of opposed.
I guess I could say.
Okay. I'm just
But-
trying to clarify it all.
No, because I just went to them and said to them, you know, did you know there's a dog park in Belleville up there back at Chicken Garden? And, and Mike was also a little aware of it. He was a little aware of it.
Oh,
But
he
said
was standing there with Dave when I had the machine in there. I'm
Right, that's
sure.
what he said, right.
He used
And,
it
but
for
he doesn't
dogs.
want it.
Yeah, but he used it
Yeah,
for
he
his
used
dogs.
it for his dog.
Right. Well, and what one of the people said that they did not, one of the many reasons they did not want it was, because they said already enough dogs already walk by his house without picking up the dog food. So why, encourage more dogs to be coming up the street?
I remember Don, when Chris set me up there to check the boundaries, and I checked the your backyard.
That's
your
right.
boundary.
Yes.
You were all for it.
And, well, I wasn't all for it. You wanted to know where the boundaries were, and I said to you, here they are.
I
Chris
did
was
ask you
right there.
how you felt about it being in your backyard.
And,
You said you had no problem. I remember that.
and,
Because I
well,
wondered about that.
yeah, because, well, also we were only there 6 months, so, too. And, who's gonna shovel the snow? Who's going to make sure that the dogs are licensed, and not necessarily licensed, but have their rabies vaccine?
I don't have a dog, so I'm not. I don't need it.
I mean, that's what we're to go forward. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Now, the board had some things to discuss about it, but thank you, Don.
You're welcome, Chris.
Good job. Oops, sorry.
Oh, Mr. Crane. Trees to cut, huh?
That's Nick.
Well, no, we held off on the one. But did we get the one taken care of on Draper and West Main, Stevens? Yeah. I see it's trimmed and it's still standing, so I figured maybe that got.
Have you heard anything?
I have not. But I
You
noticed
must
it was
be
all
happy.
trimmed.
No, it was just good.
So,
I told Nick to treat the trees, and he didn't.
treat the trees.
I accidentally might have dumped something in Main Street Park.
Possibly. So we got Falls, Williams.
The one that they're dumb.
I'm coming back to you, by the way, Eva.
Oh, it's okay. I can go with Sarah over it.
About the street.
Now,
When do you think you'll have them all done? Give me an estimate.
give me a month.
2 months? We know how this works.
There is one other. Well, then you gotta wait 6 months for your bill.
Well, we're used to that. As long as it's in before the next budget starts.
Okay.
All right?
When these guys aren't busy, I talk to them. They are willing to do a little bit of grading, which takes off of that cost.
Okay. We've talked about that before, and
You
you're
good?
good with that, right? All right. Okay.
I've been raking up so many little chips from ash trees.
Make a motion to approve Green's tree service estimate of $6,200.
And that's 15 trees, grind 15 and trim 2. Any further discussion on favor?
Who seconded it? Jason, thank you.
All right, Eva.
The event committee would like to do 2 events, one on August 24th, picking and picnicking in the park. So we'd like to use North of Park. What was the date? August 24th.
Picking, picnic.
Yeah, it's a really cute idea. That happening at the Strawberry Fest. I know, it's really great idea. Yeah, it is a really good idea.
I don't know, I did see you there last night, Tony.
No, we talked about the Strawberry Fest. This.
But we talked about it last night. We
Oh, I'm sorry.
You trim all your stuff on 24.
With a possible chicken barbecue at that one.
The picnic one, which we need to talk to Ryan about, and
Yep.
see if they have interest in it.
I'm sorry, what's
Don't want to put you on the spot, but that was part of the conversation. Maybe the fire department might
Just wait.
be interested in it. And I said Ryan would be there tonight. That's the best time to talk.
I'm sorry, I was going to get my calendar to make sure we have something open. What was the second thing you said?
Autumn Fall Fest on September 14th. Yeah,
August 24th.
yes, that's the picking for picnic. September 14th.
Just so we know, September 14th and 15th is also Canal Days over in Elmira.
On a 5K also with September 14th, which will be put on my map over here.
What's the interest of like the 2 events as far as how many chickens cook, something like that?
That's a Chris
Oh, you
question.
asking me?
Yeah, well, he's looking at me, but I'm looking at you.
So, I would say nowhere near the number that you did for the Strawberry Festival. You know, half of that, or 150 or something like that on the physical side of it. The fall one, if you got some pretty decent weather and whatever they, I think you'd probably kind of gauge that to how many vendors they're able to get. See how much it grows, because obviously you can add to that number right up to the day to have it. But depending on how they decide to do vendors and all that.
Okay.
I think that would pick the amount of ads you want to do with that.
We have a business meeting Thursday night, and I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Fire police for the 5K, we able to get any of them?
What's the date on that?
That'll be on the 14th.
September 14th.
Same thing for PD. Yeah, like I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kevin.
No. I'll get part of this together for it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's all I got.
Painless.
So we need a form, they need to fill out a
Yep.
form, right?
Yep.
You
we'll
get them
get-
online or I can give it to you, whatever.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
Is that it? Oh, when's your next meeting?
22nd, 6 p.m. of July.
FYI. Oh, no, you'll be done by then. Yeah, you will. Hey, Ryan, you're up.
We did not get a report this month from the county director of operations had a death in the family. So for this month, we had 21, or this past month, we had 21 calls. I broke it down 2 ways. I think that the village board should know the activity of all the chiefs in the department due to us being approved by the board. Starting from the bottom, Chief Herber made 0, Middleton made 5, Gillett made 4, Lasher made 2, and I made 20. Call types for last month, we had 1 house fire, we had 1 vehicle fire, 1 MVA, 3 fire alarms, 6 hazardous conditions, 8 EMS assists, and 1 chief's investigation. Hours for last month, we spent 265 hours on fire calls, 103 hours for training, 76 hours for meetings. The department discussed the old engine 32. The only wishes of the department was to keep the tires that are currently on it. We could swap them out with the old tires that were on it, and that we still have. I have reached out to Fenton Fire Sales. They're going to get an appraisal together. And I haven't gotten a hard copy appraisal, but over the phone it was 15,000 is what they were looking at with the pictures that I sent them.
Told you.
What's that?
Told you.
Yeah. They would sell it for us. I mean, they would keep whatever it is, 3% under 150,000, and it goes up from there. If that was a route we wanted to take, like I said, the only wish for the department was the tires, and I believe the air compressor has been taken off.
Did the tires get swapped out as talked about, or that hasn't happened yet?
That has not happened yet.
I make a motion to declare the old E32 as surplus, put it up for sale after the department makes the changes they wish to make.
Okay.
Motion on favor?
Who seconded it? Dave to think.
The new engine 32, it's in service. It's been on a few runs last month. Everything's working well. No issues. We have one new member join last month, and I would like to set up a meeting with the mayor and Danny to go over some budget stuff sometime in the near future.
Okay. I want to thank you, Ryan, for the Operation Cool Down there. That was a success. So thanks for getting guys around there to cool them down in the park.
No worries at all.
And we can get a meeting scheduled with you for that too.
Okay.
Anything else, Ryan?
That's all I have.
Kevin?
I don't have anything to make a report from experience and relative. I want to change the swinging away. A lot of nuisance complaints, quality of life issues, which that's exactly what we're going for as far as I'm concerned. Just watching a lot of problems with the conveyor. We get a lot of walkouts, questions, and stuff like that. Other than that, we got a new air conditioner things to go now. Thanks for doing that. We do have to get it installed in the wall. We're trying to get a hold of Don Harvard, but we don't have a good phone number. I don't know if anybody does. I got it. Perfect. When I have the regular voicemail, it's not set up.
I do.
I'm sure you do. Probably the same one that I have.
Probably the same one.
Other than that, I've been trying to work with code enforcement and PCO, the animal control officer, trying to handle on some of the stuff. It's not major. It's just a small piece here. Have to take care of good old problems.
Okay. Thanks, Kevin. Mr. Green.
Not a ton. We've got the speed signs up.
I see that.
Got a quote here from Champion for restriping.
Mm-hmm.
You guys probably have that.
Good idea.
4154.
Do we have a paint yet?
Got a rich one.
I didn't have it, but I didn't do that.
4154?
Yes.
Champion.
You'll be doing crosswalks too? Crosswalks, all of them. Town Champion does the crosswalks and the not sidewalks, parking spaces. County does center line striping.
The crosswalks make them more visible. If we did that type of striping, is that extra or possible?
I can ask. Talk
especially down Main Street.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah. All of the catch basins on this side of the pond are cleaned out. I'll do it after that.
Just in time for Giveaway Main.
It's gonna be a fun walk. 3 inches in.
Enjoy.
Both they went to downstairs.
Let's approve the 4154 for champion so we get on the schedule and then Chris will find out about the alternative.
Make a motion to approve the champion penny quote, $4,154.
Second. Any further discussion on favor?
And I got a quote from Jeff Ward for a little bit of ditching on Terrell Street and Sunset. He's $350 for Terrell and $350 for Sunset, $450 for Terrell, total of $800.
What else on Terrell? We just did that a couple of years ago.
The last house on the north, last 2 houses on the north side, is all overgrown trees. It's doable. Make a motion to approve the quote for ditching Jeff Ward for Sunset and Terrell for $800.
Discussion on favor? Anything else, Chris?
That's all I got for now.
Ed?
Pumping water like crazy. Trying to get the lead service line inventory completed. It's due before October. So if all goes well and the rehab of the water plant takes place, I would have to suspect that the volume of water that we are pumping now will be done in about 50 to 60% of the time that we invest. It's just about keeping people out of confined space and the volume of water that we had coming in from the lake on gravity feed versus suction. So we need to switch over to pots, go down in the hole, confined space, more labor, and deal with that headache. But if the engineering firm is to figure out a way to eliminate that, still get the water in through a suction line versus open atmosphere, we could probably seriously cut back on the amount of labor that we put into it right now. So hopefully,
That was the whole reasoning.
hopefully CPL comes together with everything, puts this together.
Yeah, this whole thing was based off outdated efficiencies.
Yep. We just recently had a social media complaint, so if they're listening, just want to address that and let you know we're still working on it.
Fair enough. Anything else?
No, sir. Something for executive.
Okay. Account number 64200, Wade Lake request.
Yeah, they're the ones, they moved and their mail kept getting forwarded back and forth, so they weren't getting their bills, so they just have to pay the late fee. They paid the bill, they just want to know if we can credit the late fee.
Didn't provide the documents, Tom?
I didn't put it on the agenda, I just remember they called a few times. I don't remember putting it on the agenda.
It's on there. I didn't put it on it because I didn't know the account number.
Yeah, it says account number 64200, waive late fees. I don't know who they are, or the address, or any history on it.
I can get some information done to you in the morning.
All table,
Sure.
put it online.
Should be Susan.
June 12th?
Eight two four one Eastport Bay Road.
It could be if it's Susan Payne,
Yes.
that's a good address.
And how many times does this happen, or what is the, what's the
She
dollar
missed 2
amount?
quarters.
Well,
Make a motion to waive $21 in penalties to account number 64200.
For a total of $21, correct? What penalties? Need a second for that?
second.
Any further discussion on favor? June 2024 monthly report.
Don't say.
Regular tax people ought to give it out.
Make a motion to approve the fiscal year end 5/31/24 for the annual court report.
Second.
Any further discussion on favor? Mass Mutual Life Insurance update.
So I just need to let everybody know, I know when the gentleman came before, there's some people who are interested in it. All the employees got information on it, but if anybody else wants information, I have booklets, stuff like that, so if anybody wants any information.
Thank you very much.
Make a motion to prepay invoice number 268512 Housecat Wolski. The amount of $3,360.
So, yeah.
Any further discussion on favor?
The tax collection is just an FYI, so you guys know where we are to this point as far as collecting on taxes.
pretty fair, Frank. Honestly.
I'm sorry?
That's a pretty fair number already.
Yeah, so we're 97 outstanding from 702.
Need a motion for past meeting minutes, June 11, 2024, department.
There needs to be an amendment on that first, though. So at the last meeting, I did not give anybody any court audits to do, and it references that court audits for Kathy and Dave were approved. So I just need to put an amendment that you guys are given the notice that the annual had to be done. And I can make that amendment in these minutes.
Abstract number 2, $83,439.61. Well, you can do a post amendment, or you can wait till the next one when it's amended.
Well, I have to do the amendment in these minutes, so.
You can approve the amendment.
Make a motion to approve abstract number 002, the amount of $83,439.61.
Second.
Any further discussion on favor? You want to approve that with the pending amendment then?
I can't.
You're not here.
Somebody else has to. Dave can. No problem.
Okay, so we need a motion for the June 11th department head meeting with notation that there is an amendment.
Make a motion to approve June 11th department head meeting, subject to amendment.
Second.
Any further discussion on favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-15.
Second.
Who seconded, Dave did?
Yes. Any further discussion on favor?
All right.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-17.
Any further discussion on favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-18.
Any further discussion on favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-19.
Any further discussion on favor?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-20.
Any further discussion on favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve facilities use request for the Wookett Falls Park on August 24th, 2:30 to 6:30 for the wet.
There's nothing else going on that day, right?
No, I checked when I handed them. Yeah. That's what I had to check for, though.
Okay.
Because
That's their picking in the park
they're
here.
picking the
but,
parks up
yeah,
here,
it's
yeah,
on
and that's
Falls
down there at Falls Park.
I did talk to them, Fran, as well, and if they were to talk to you if they need access to the restroom.
Okay.
So any further discussion on favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve Northrop Park Christmas lighting contest 12/14 from 1 to 5.
I second that.
Any further discussion on favor?
Aye.
Hometown Heroes, thank you from the Bauer family. Village of Wolcott, we would like to thank you and the work crew for getting David Hutchbauer's veteran. I think that's plaque, I believe.
Veterans flag.
Yeah. That doesn't say banner. Plaque up by by Memorial Day and on the street where we said we would like it. In Hartford Street. Nice job done, Mary Lou Bauer. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you very much. Oh, Neimer building visits. That's all. Did they give us dates, Fran?
So the dates are Thursday, July 18th.
Oh, boy.
So I recommended Tommy, but I'm not sure what you guys think.
What's that?
I recommended Tommy being like their escort. I wasn't sure what you guys thought.
Actually, I think you did it last time. We'll check with them. We'll go from there. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right. So progress-wise, we have it's a slow process, but we've been working with CPL on the grant. Brandon's been working on some documentation that we have to have for funding that rolls up to the engineering startup of the project. That's all been going on behind the scenes. Other than that, like I said, we just had a festival committee meeting. I attended that. They have that planned out again. You know, anybody and everybody that was involved in the Strawberry Festival, absolute fantastic job. I haven't heard one bad thing about the festival. Could have gone any better. Couldn't have got any better weather. Thanks to the fire department doing your part, Ryan, and
Of course.
Kevin being on and keeping everybody safe and around. So, I'd say you knocked this one out of the park. That everybody was involved, for sure. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have until executive. So, Misty, what do you have to do?
She said the playground is halfway done. Not letting halfway done with the other half. He will contact us about the roof. It's around the 22nd. So,
They putting that together, or we putting that
Oh, there's
together?
something.
yeah, they're doing
They
something.
pre-built it. Bring it here. Let's pull it up.
What are you putting under that?
That was my next question.
You guys asked this the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's under the current one?
You should put something underneath it.
I see over at Marshall Park, they got some kind of, look like chipped wood or something, not sure what it is. I was gonna ask, it seemed to be okay to, I don't walk out of the shoes on, but.
Why not?
I didn't want to take them off.
Really want to get the feel for it. Well, if you want to give them a holler and see what they have for a supporting base, that's fine.
And they have a rubber barrier to keep all the stuff in.
Good luck with that.
What do they call them? They like put around the landscape thing. That rubber stuff.
Edging.
Edging. There you go. Edging. I
You've
can't
been
check.
breaking it up every week.
I can't check the job.
Till's blow it back in with the mower.
They recommend something. No, they put it up first. Right?
Yes.
So, super good for that product and lot, pricing wise and whatnot. But the last time that we did, I believe I mentioned this the last time that we had Neimer around for that. It was a suggestion for it around the one we currently had, however, not required. Anything else, Misty?
No. I'm all set.
Marshall?
I don't have one. I was wondering, surplus the fire truck is, now who is this people you have selling it for? Is that, can we do that? Is it gotta be a public sale, or how's that work?
Well, you surplus it, is that where you want to go through, Brian, it's Fenton?
I was gonna wait to get the finalized estimate back from them. I went down to the sewer plant, I took a bunch of pictures of it, sent it to them. They're gonna give me a finalized estimate back. And then if we choose to go through with them, we can list it through them. If we choose to go to Block International, we can go to Block International. I mean,
Can we do that? So I mean, do we have to put it up for public bid? I'm not sure.
Well, let's get the quote back from first. Let's see.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
That's all I got. Just wondering what the process was.
Well, it's surplus now, so it'll be sold anyway.
Okay. I thought we had to have a public bid or something. Okay.
Auctions International, I thought that.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know the company that sent.
yeah, Fenton Fire, just a website anybody can go on.
Oh, do they? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're like a third party vendor for us. They would take all the pictures and all the information that we send them. They would list it and try to buy it, try to find a buyer for us. And then obviously at the end of it, they would take a cut, 3% or whatever their cut is off the selling price.
Auction International don't charge anything, but if you got more money for it, that would be better.
So
I didn't know it was a public company. I never heard of it before.
and they sell used fire trucks, ambulances, police vehicles.
Might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Could very well be. We'll see.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Nothing at this time.
David.
I don't have a lot. Banner project seems to still be moving along. Got any extras?
Everything we've received so far is hanging from a pole.
We've got more being done, and then we still got people getting applications every day almost, so.
Right.
How many total do we have?
Pardon me?
How many total banners have we got to date?
That I do not.
In the 40s.
Yeah, I counted 45 on July 4th.
So 32 last month.
Nice job putting that on Facebook.
You had a woman that asked about I was going to ask you when I got to it, but there was a woman that inquired about somebody that was sponsored. I don't know if she actually reached out, so I wanted to follow up with you guys, see if she did.
They wanted to sponsor?
Yeah, her name was Serena Berg.
No, reached out to me.
So I'll reach out to her and see if we can get it done.
They just want to give me a call or Dave.
We have sponsors. We just
Yeah, that's what I told her.
need the application. So,
And I need to get my calendar back that I
did they
loaned
send
you.
that back with the banner? The calendar? Or the link up?
I didn't know that it had been sent in.
Well, I gave that to them. I took it over to them.
Okay.
Sure.
Then he did say there's pictures that still got to be sent back. So I'm guessing that's part of the ones that need to be sent back.
Yeah. When I gave it to them, I asked them to make sure that they gave that back to me.
And they're very good. They'll mail it back to whoever mailed it to them. So if they mailed it, if we gave it to them, they'll probably mail
I'll
it back to
be,
them.
I'll be able to find some tomorrow. I can check. And see
Thank you.
what they have.
If you do stop and see him, he did say he'd have a count for you. Last time he was dropping banners and he forgot everything. He was in a rush. So he said he had a count. If you do stop and see him, he might have it available there.
Yeah, he said send me an updated list of, how you get a list of all the people that were getting.
Right. I had asked them the last time I was
Yeah.
there. And, I think they're pretty busy.
Yeah, he had graduation and he has pictures he's bringing back to us too that he forgot for.
On a side note, I got my grandchildren in the audience tonight. Ethan and Emmy, they're up from Maryland. They're here for 3 weeks. And they're just learning about government. So,
Nice.
Boy, Grandpa are amping it up.
yeah,
Welcome.
that's it.
Okay. Matt, anything for the group?
No, he answered my only question. Thank you.
Pete?
And he answered my question.
Not bad. Lori?
No.
No for the group or no for Pete?
No to Pete. Things seem to be quieter. Don't know why. There hasn't been as many fireworks in our area. Normally, around 4th of July, they're moving all over and probably
seeing I'm saying this coming weekend. My, mhm.
Let me know how that works out. I'm sure you will.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, my only concern is the kids. And when the kids are so close, yeah, I don't want the kids injured in any way.
I agree. Safety first.
Yep. So
Hang out.
that's it.
Okay.
Did you want more?
Listen, I open up with the firing range every time for these meetings.
Okay.
Tony,
I'll stop.
I got a question for you. Farmers market
Yes.
last week. Did you talk to Pancho? Or actually call him and say, hey?
No, I talked to the girls out there real quick because I was here by myself, so I couldn't be out there. I told them to let everybody know that we weren't doing it, and they might not have talked to Pancho.
Okay. Like I said, when I came out of work and I looked over, so I ran over and talked to him.
Yeah.
He said nobody told me any different.
Yeah.
He told me the 4th of July wasn't a Mexican holiday.
Yeah.
In fact, I asked why.
Okay. So I guess if that happens again, we just make sure that we do reach out to them so they don't make a trip for nothing.
Yep.
He was busy.
Yeah. Well, but everybody at first thought that nothing was there, and then I look over and he was here. So
Maybe next shift application, you could just put in there the holiday closed for.
well, honestly, I mean, if you want to show up, I'm fine with it. I just if it's on, it's on. If it's not, it's not. I mean, if he did okay. So did he?
Yeah, when I was punching out, they all went up their
Had to
table.
wait in line to ring down.
That was like 4 or something. Acting up.
Okay. All right, Jack.
Since you put the speed signs up on Auburn Street, I haven't really noticed any reduction in speeds. I haven't mind radar, but you can tell, you know.
Oh, Kevin's right behind you.
Yeah.
They were, when we were putting them up, they come on and they're hitting their brakes.
They're slowing down like doing their job when they're putting them up.
That's by the time they
I
get
think
there,
that's where the trouble is, because the hands are
We still get a
tight.
flow through there, 60 miles an hour stuff.
I've gotten tons of questions on the signs, and yes, you can get a ticket. It's a picture of your place about a year and a half. That's the main question you get is that.
They run by crane.
What's that?
They run by crane. But it takes a year and a half to get a ticket.
Oh boy, oh boy.
On the news, last week, there was DOT that was on, just stated that they have been watching 104, and 104 now has a camera that takes the pictures of it. One vehicle was 139 miles an hour, another one was 119, and another was 113.
Hey, can we reprogram these so we get high score?
New high school.
I told you to slow that down.
I was saying it's Auburn for that.
I gotta get out of jail.
So, but Kevin, you know anyway, so that's maybe one area to watch. You know.
Yeah, I try to get out on the street a couple times a day. It all depends on the time of day it's happening.
Yeah. Any particular time, Jack? I mean, one
Not
more
really.
prominent than the other?
I mean, it happens in the middle of the night. Yeah, it happens in the middle of the day. You just never know. You get tractor trailers, they're at 50 miles an hour, and Jake right in front of my house. Going off to the corner.
Yeah, at least we have 55 ready to 30. That's cool. Get all the speed limits.
Yeah.
Every street coming in. I think some people do pay attention to those signs coming in.
I'm a half a mile in.
What's that?
I'm a half a mile in.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, there.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of town, you do it too.
Yeah, right.
Come around that corner and before it.
I know my street is the same, so all hours of the night. We are not down, it actually happens.
We'll try to get a cardboard cutout, park the second cop car over there.
Front porch with
Little light.
Rather do something.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just do. That's
Ryan, you got anything else for the group?
I'm all set, thanks.
Don?
No, just to thank Kevin for coming up on Sunset Ferris a week ago.
Oh, you're welcome.
Our ring camera, all the action.
I try to get out to every neighborhood, try to show the car around. People did see it.
Yeah.
I do. I go out Sunset. Try to go by like on High Street, all the dead ends, and go down Gardens. Start up there. It's not like they get a lot of speeders over there, but still, like, you should see this car once in a while. You get some deer flying through there. It's all good. Right.
Eva?
Yeah, no.
No. Rich? How you doing?
Pretty good.
You? Good. Rosie? Grandkids? Going to get ice cream?
Well, be live.
Can we all get ice cream?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're welcome, Dave. All right, so if that's it, we're going to executive.
I'm gonna make a motion at 8:19.
Everybody stay cool. Watch out for the rain tomorrow.